Hey guys, I'm going to be running a little bit of an experiment here with, I've got well, I guess you could call it a capture card. It's a poor excuse for a capture card. A crappy thing that I bought when I first wanted to try out YouTube. It was like, I don't know, it was like $7 10 years ago. Anyways, it is terrible, but for the moment, it's the only way I have the capture, like, my PS2. And so a lot of the games that I want to play, I don't like a couple of them have come out on PS4, but for the most part they haven't. I'm just gonna be doing this as sort of like an experimental video. See if it's viable to edit this and like try and fix the audio issues, get the video to work right. So bear with me. I'm still setting it up, but I figure I might as well record some of this shenanigans. So anyway, let me turn it back on. It's probably in the middle of a cutscene right now. Let me just Oh, it's not. Okay. So yeah, front mission 4. Tweak the audio down a little. Unfortunately, there is a hum. There's like a buzz I can't figure out how to get rid of. If I so much as bump this wire, everything will get all messed up. So yeah. I mean, okay, front mission 4's loading screen is not the best example because it has its own scan lines, but there are additional scan lines. So you can kind of see them here. This would normally just be a black screen. But, you know, it's the best I can do at the moment, and I love Front Mission 4. It's one of my favorite games, if not my favorite. Okay, I'd say Front Mission 5 would be my favorite if there was an official localized version, but there's not. And so you have to play on a janky emulator that frankly looks as bad or worse than this is going to look. Because of the way I set this up, I have to play through OBS, so I hope the delay isn't too bad, but it's a TAC game, so it shouldn't be a major issue either way. Do I have the whole thing on screen? About as good as I'm gonna get, I think. I'd like to take this black edge up, but I don't think I can. I really hope that the audio recording is working out here. I guess I can always, while editing, try and get the audio to get balanced well. I don't know though. Actually, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm thinking of it as a PS4 one where I have two separate recordings. Because I'm doing it all in OBS, I have to get it right now. Oh well. I'm sorry I wasn't really commenting on this. This is yeah. Did it say that this was a German military base that is getting attacked? That's about all you'll really know at this point. Where's that buzzing? There's nothing else, no other audio. The buzz comes back. Probably always there, just getting drowned out by other things. EC Armor Tactics Research Corps. Durandal. Since the end of the Second Huffman conflict, Wanzers, giant humanoid armored vehicles, have quickly become the mainstay of all armies. But even now, Wanzer warfare is still in its early stages of development. In 2096, the nations of the European Community cooperatively founded a semi-military research organization for the sole purpose of developing and assessing Wanzer tactics for the EC's armies. This organization, based in the UK, is called the EC Armor Tactics Research Corps, aka Durandal.
Father 1 to Arrow 6, what's your status?
Arrow 6, all checks are green. Initiating pre-start pilot confirmation. Confirmation complete.
Arrow 6, you must be wondering why you're here.
No, sir. I was informed that new Durandal recruits are always thrown into a Wanzer before assuming their post.
Yes, that's how we do things. But rest assured that this is not a test. Just remember what you learned by piloting Wanzers in the French army, and you should do fine.
Yes, sir, Commander.
Please do away with the formalities. We're a research institute, not an army.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna initiate jump procedures, if you two don't mind. Cargo bay, all green. Jump in 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arrow 6, jump.
Arrow 6, jumping. Arrow 6, jump complete.
Arrow 6, status report.
Father 1, Arrow 6, all green.
So, how's the new mount?
Its response is so quick it's hard to balance. The control layout is a bit different from the standard ones.
Were you expecting any less? That's a Durandal special you're in, lady.
If you don't think you can handle it, we can cancel the exercise.
No, I'll be fine. Please begin.
Good to hear, Arrow 6. Now, follow my instructions closely.
Alright. Are you ready, Arrow 6? First, move your Wanzer to the indicated spot. Your max, blah blah blah. Tutorial stuff, I got it. I've played this I don't know how many times. Yep. And this controller... And the first controller I dug up didn't work, and this one's also starting to be a little weird. Buttons are being a little... Oh well.
Do you need more time to practice?
No, I'm used to it now. Thanks.
Good. Let's proceed to the next step. Arrow 2 and 4 will be your opponents. Your weapon is armed with training shells, so take a few shots at them to adjust your sights.
Alright, here we go. Unfortunately, the tutorials, they drag on in this game. It makes sense, because there's a lot to learn, but I can't skip them, really.
Hey, she's a pretty good.
Father 1, requesting permission to initiate combat with Arrow 6.
You are not authorized to engage your opponent, Arrow 2.
time you stopped pampering the new recruit, Father One. I'm going to fight her whether you like it or not.
Hey, Arrow 2, take it easy, eh? This should be interesting.
Arrow 2, stand down.
It's alright. I don't mind.
But,
Oh, well, I guess I'll join in the fun too.
Alright. This time I'm stepping further. Well, no, I don't really have to think that much. It's a tutorial. I'm pretty sure no matter what I do, I can just kind of brute force it. So I'll just might as well do this quickly and get 2 attacks in. Didn't blow off the arm with the gun. So she didn't retaliate. So didn't matter if I had backed up. If one of your Wanzer's parts becomes badly damaged, repair it by using items stored in your backpack. Yada yada. Okay. Shouldn't need to. I should have used a shotgun so I would have had spare attack points. Oh well. Because you can retaliate on an enemy turn if you have the points and you're in range. And it's only 3 attack points for a shotgun, but 4 with a machine gun. Like, he has the points to retaliate. I don't know if he's going to, though. He is. Oh. A dodge. Cool. I didn't know I had any evasion starting out. Okay. Arm of the shotgun's blown off. Whatever. Technically that'll cost me, I think, in a normal mission, but I don't know if this counts as a normal mission. Oh, there is a maintenance fee. Darn. Well, I shouldn't have let that happen then.
This is hour 6. Are we done?
yes, Arrow 6.
I should also note that I was the one that's progressing the conversation, so good thing about this game is I can pause and talk whenever I want. The dialogue will generally wait for me to continue the story.
She got us so good, didn't she, Arrow 2?
Good work. Let me introduce you. This is Elsa, the newest member of our research team, the Durandal. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Elsa. I'm Hermes. I'm in charge of data analysis and electronic systems engineering for the Durandal. It shall be a pleasure working with you. Oh, well, what about... You mean the Arrow 2 and 4? They disobeyed orders and broke the rules. Although the Durandal is not an army, we expect our members to follow the mission leader's commands. For the good of the group, of course. Are they being punished? Azid, maybe you could go a little easy on them this time. What are you making them do? They are being punished. I should be as well. I did take part in the fight. Oh, well, if you enjoy cleaning toilets so much, I have an extra toothbrush you can use. Toilets? Oh. Don't worry. I'm sure they won't hold a grudge against you. They only wanted to see how well you could fight, and show them you did. Now, are there any other questions? I'm not going to try and fake a British accent, or a French accent, or a Russian accent, or an Italian accent, or a German accent for the one member of the Durandal we haven't met yet. Unfortunately, I'm just not going to try to do voices. The Durandal consists of more than ex-military personnel. We have scientists as well, with experts in robotics, human engineering, and even psychology. Just for exploring better ways of using Wanzers in battle? Yes, that's right. We pilots are here to test and test the technology created by the scientists. In other words, we are the Wanzer critics. Speaking of which, I should tell you about setting up your Wanzer's computer. Every Durandal pilot is expected to know how to customize their Wanzer for maximum efficiency. Here we go, more tutorial. I'm not gonna read the tutorial lines. If you want to figure out, like, I can try and explain what I'm doing later. It's gonna be easier than me having to read all this. Blah, 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 blah. Come on. Frankly, I think I can do a better job explaining anyways. And I will do it in my own time, game, please. Let me skip the tutorial. Okay. You can also select tutorial from the simulator for additional information. We expect more tutorials to be added in the future, so take a look at the tutorial list from time to time. No. Hermes. Members of the Durandal aren't all from the EC, you know. Take me, for example. I'm from the UCS. Were you in the UCS Army? No. I'm not the military type, but I do like Wanzers. That's why I came here. You can fiddle with Wanzers all you want, even if you're only a civilian. The future version of a tank guy. I guess, although he's more tech. I know people who are into tech and tanks. Anyway. Let's end the debriefing. Debriefing. Dismissed. Man. Alright, time for Elsa's welcoming party. What? We're going now? Yes, why not? Yeah, remember, we're not an army, so take it easy. Ah, alright. The governments of the world are seeking answers today after a series of coordinated attacks wreaked havoc on German military installations. I guess it's how you spell wreaked? I actually don't know how you spell wreaked in that context. The German government announced that unknown assailants damaged 5 of its bases beyond repair. In an ongoing emergency meeting in Paris, assembly members are attempting to organize a collaborative investigation of the attacks. However, due to the recent uncooperative trends among EC leaders, progress is expected to be slow at best. The media aren't cooperative, the ones I tell you. You know, a lot of this game is based off of, like, geopolitical stuff that's going on in the world. I should give a quick rundown. Very quick rundown, because I could go in-depth like crazy, but a lot of that stuff's not even relevant to this game. Because this game, like, there's a whole lot of other stuff going on in the World of Front mission that this game doesn't actually even touch on. But in the context of this game, in the future, basically the idea is that the world kind of consolidates its superpowers into, like, big unions. Where the US already exists as a union, they expand to become the UCS, the United Continental States, which is, like, basically all of the Americas. The EC is kind of like a more powerful, more homogenous version of the EU. So, European Community as opposed to European Union. ZAFTRA is a union of kind of former Soviet states, I believe. It's basically just the Soviet Union or Russia or whatever. They're not the most economically strong nation now, like Russia is now. There's the Dahan Zong, but I don't think they matter here. There's the OCU. They might get mentioned. The OCU is usually very important in Front Mission games, but I don't think they're very important in this game. It's the what is the Oceania Cooperative Union or something like that. It's like Australia and Japan and some other Oceania area nations usually posed as like a rival to the US over stuff. Anyway, the main two settings for this game are in the UCS and in the EC, and also a little bit in Zaftra. So there's a few others, like there's the African Union that I forgot the name of offhand. It doesn't come up a lot, so I can't really recall it, but basically, yeah, we're in the EC. The Durandal is like a British. I mean, it's works for the whole EC, but it's really British. It's centered in England. Nolan here is the Prime Minister of Britain, and the attacks that just happened on Germany are in matter to all of the EC. They're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm sorry, did you say something, sir? Allison is the Vice Minister to Nolan. No, nothing. German Premier. Okay. And we have placed all of our troops at the highest alert. I advise you to do the same with your forces. Have you begun an investigation into the identity of the assailants yet? Of course. Glazier, step forward. Who is this? This is Brigadier General Glazier of the German Army. Or Glazier? Glazier. He is the head of our nation's Special Forces Squadron, the Blauer? God. How do you say Blau? I've heard this word so many times, but I can't actually say it. I'm going to say Blauer Nabel. Probably not correct, but whatever. I've appointed him as leader of the investigation. Gentlemen, we have already begun a sweep of the German army and the Blauer Nabel bases that were attacked. From the data we have gathered so far, we estimate there were at least 4 companies of enemy airborne units participating in the attack. 4 companies of Wanzers? How did they manage to sneak into the EC unnoticed? What were the German surveillance units doing? Who were these attackers? Why did they attack those German bases? Gentlemen, please calm down. The investigation has just begun. We'll find the answers to these questions in due time. I would like to propose a restructuring of the EC Army's command echelons and a re-evaluation of their personnel in order to prevent anything like this from happening again. I understand your concern, but we cannot shift the military balance within EC so easily. Are you attempting to use this incident as an excuse to strengthen your country's military? Glazier, this incident and your suggestions must be considered separately. I would advise you to focus your efforts on the investigation. Yes, sir. Mr. Glazier, I'd like you to add a few people to your investigation team. Sir, with all due respect, we do not need the help of the British Army. This is a domestic problem. No, this is an EC problem. Would it not be advisable for an EC institution to take part in the investigation? I agree with Mr. Nolan. He does have a point. It is reasonable. Fair enough. Do you have any objections, Glazier? Who is it you propose to send? The EC Armor Tactics Research Corps, Durandal, based in the UK. They are specialists in Wanzer combat. They should be more than qualified for the job.
must be the Durandal. Who's in command? This is Z. I am charged with leading our investigation. Are you a member of the Blauer Naval? I am Wagner, the commander.
At your service, Commander.
We would like to start our investigation immediately. We'll be coming out in our Wanzers. Before you do so, let me make one thing clear. The Blauer Naval will lead this investigation. You will be updated of our progress, but are advised to stay out of our way.
What? But we are here under the official sanction of the EC Central Assembly.
That is all. Now, if you will excuse me.
Wait,
Hey, take it easy. We don't want to pick a fight with them.
but
They have their own way of doing things. Don't forget that someone just slaughtered their compatriots, and they're not in the best of moods. But don't worry. We have our own way of doing things as well. Take your Vanza out. We're searching the base.
understood.
Okay. Elsa here. How are things on your side? Deed brought back some parts from the attackers' Wanzers and a few shell casings from their weapons. We're just about to start analyzing them with the transport's computer. Can you give us a report on your search area? It is bad. I cannot believe that one of the best armies in the EC would suffer such great losses. Yes, nor can I. I am done with my search, so I will be returning shortly. Please keep the cargo bay door open. Roger, we'll be waiting. I am back. How is the analysis going? Not good. There's nothing on the Wanzer parts, weapons, or casings that tells us where the attackers came from. You cannot even determine the make of the Wanzers? Everything's burnt up pretty bad. It looks like these Wanzers had self-destruct charges in every joint. I can't believe anyone would want to ride these things. The parts I recovered are in the same state. I guess the chances of retrieving any information from them are slim. There's barely anything left of the pilots. This is definitely not the work of terrorists. I see. I never understood that. Why wouldn't it be? I guess terrorists would want to be identified, but I don't know. That line never made sense to me. You seem troubled, Elsa. What is it? It does not make sense. Why would anyone go through all the trouble of performing synchronous attacks on 5 different bases so far from the border and just disappear? Yes, it is puzzling. Germany's surveillance system is top class too. They would never miss a large wing of transport planes crossing their border. What's your opinion, Elsa? I think they must have entered the EC by air, landed somewhere that would have served as a base camp, traveled overland to their objectives. They must have taken the same route to escape. Isn't that a little risky, though? Someone would be bound to see you. No, Elsa's right. If you know a safe route and take your time, it is possible to avoid detection. If we only knew the make of the attackers' Wanzers, we could narrow down their probable escape routes based on the Wanzers' operational range. Wait, we can still do that. All we have to do is base our calculations on the longest operational range of all known Wanzers. Hermes? I'm on it. Elsa, give me a hand. Sure.
What are they doing?
I can't tell, sir, but it seems like they're checking something inside their transport.
Have them followed. I want to know where they're going.
Yes, sir.
Denmark, apparently.
Yeah, this is the place. Even if a large transport plane landed here, the locals would just think they saw a UFO or something.
That's a little...
Good.
I don't know.
Let's try to land.
Whoa! They're shooting at us!
We must land here, one way or another.
I know, I know!
I am preparing for combat.
I'm going with you.
Alright, mission 1, here we go. Hermes, lift off and stay out of range. You don't have to tell me twice. Let us go. Elsa, is this your first time in actual combat? Yes, but I'll be alright. Okay. I think leading of seed makes more sense. He's got machine guns, so I don't really have to worry about staying out of range. Actually, what is his armor? He doesn't have armor. Okay. I guess they're still taking it easy. Curiosity, what is... I think Elsa has piercing armor? Yeah. Okay. You're gonna see me lean on machine guns pretty heavily, because they're just... better. Shotguns are good, because they're, like, reactionary, they're cheaper to use, but they have downsides. These guys have no armor, so I might as well use the machine gun. If I pull back... Honestly, I think maybe... get the extra attack in. When he counters. Or maybe he never will. I mean, honestly, nothing's really low. Alright. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna keep firing 3 times. And retaliate with the machine gun. Damn! Come on. Oh, his legs are almost gone. That'll be good if they blow. Ooh, left arm is about to blow. Body is low too. I should have repaired. Good. No more dodging for you. There we go. No maintenance costs, and no items spent.
I'm glad to see you're both safe.
The feeling's mutual.
There were fewer of them than I expected.
It seems like they had already started to retreat.
But if that was the case, they should have been taking all of the equipment here with them. Judging by the way they do things, they should have gotten rid of any proof that they were ever here.
Good point.
And it must have been a pretty hasty retreat.
Still, it looks like they left in a hurry.
Yeah,
Do you think they knew we were coming?
probably.
I would certainly hope not.
It's really the only thing that makes sense.
Let's search the place. We should also retrieve the remains of the enemy Avanzers for further analysis.
If they were simply, we happened to catch them while they were pulling out, they wouldn't still have so much equipment lying around if they still had Wanzers here. This was clearly the last-ditch effort to get stuff out of here.
It's a waste of time if you ask me. This place is as burned up as that German base.
Do I even have space? Just look at some of the times on these. Jeez. Oh, wow. I'll just save over this. That's fine. I need to find my... I have, like, a bunch of different PS2 memory cards, and I don't know where most of them are right now. I'll have to search around. There was nothing in the boxes they left behind. They did a good job of covering their tracks. Roger. Hermes, anything on your side? I wonder. Did you find something? Come look at this. What is it? It's code from a microchip that barely made it in one piece. It's from one of their Wanzers. It looks like a file from from a leg part stabilizer program. Is it enough to be used as evidence? Every Wanzer manufacturer has its own bipedal locomotion stabilizer program, and they're top secret. You can usually identify a Wanzer's maker by looking at the program's quirks. Can you tell which company this one is from? Is it from the EC? The OCU? I need to run some more tests to be sure, but I'd say it looks a lot like Dimitri Corp program. Dimitri? The Zaftran Corporation? Yeah, but this doesn't tell us if these Wanzers were actually made in the Republic of Zaftra. But Zaftra doesn't export Wanzers. And I can see no reason for Zaftra to attack Germany. Yeah, I know. There isn't one country in the world that's at odds with Germany these days. Well, at least we managed to find some kind of a lead. We need to have it analyzed further by the proper authorities. Let's go back to the German base. Why are we going back there? Can't we go straight to investigation headquarters? We didn't tell Wagner we'd be coming here. At the very least, we have to tell him where we've been. It doesn't look like there are any more hostiles. Man, I can't read. It doesn't look like there are any more hostiles nearby. Still, we'd better make sure our Wanzers are properly equipped. Man, I didn't think we'd get into a firefight. From now on, we'd better make sure our Wanzers are ready. If we set the armor on our Wanzers to a certain type, it should lessen the damage we take from weapons of the corresponding type. For example, if we set our armor type to fire resistant, it should absorb a third of the damage from missiles and grenades. There are two other armor types. Piercing resistant armor lessens the damage taken from machine gun and rifle rounds. Impact resistant armor lessens the damage taken from shotgun and melee weapons like knuckles and rods. It'll pay to remember that. It might just save your life. Flip in tutorial info into the dialogue. The thing is, like, you can't do all that much right now. I mean, I can get Z'd off of fire armor, because I don't... Oh, there might be... It won't really matter. It won't matter right now. I can look at pilot setup, though. Alright. Yeah, she should have some points. So, what the tutorial was explaining was kind of like what a lot of this stuff does. Basically, this is pretty obvious. This adds an attack point, and like just because I own abilities, like for the blue ones, doesn't mean they're equipped. I have to equip those separately. But everything that's not blue is a direct thing that I immediately acquire. Like, I buy that, I have 11 AP now, and I charge 10 AP every turn. But I have a maximum pool, and I start with 11. And I can increase my evasion to 12%, gain a machine gun level, which is very important. And then, Parashot lowers target's evasion for half when it procs. Panic Shot lowers target's accuracy to half. Multiplies the number of rounds shot by 120%. Well, I can afford them all. And I need more experience points to unlock rank 2 abilities, so let's set our skills. And I have enough skill slots to equip them all. So, as you can see, there's a set number of slots, so you kind of have to pick and choose which abilities you want and try and match them up to what your pilot is good at and the weapons you've equipped. The way you build the Wanzers, kind of you have to, like, high evasion Wanzers for pilots with good evasion, high durability Wanzers for pilots who don't dodge. Picking and choosing. There's all, like, a whole different, like, give and take for all sorts of stuff. And, like, they will have their own track of things that they'll unlock as they upgrade, but you can also, later in the game, be able to purchase packages of stats and abilities that you can then buy again with EP. Just, oh, I wasn't paying attention how much he had. He doesn't have a shield right now. I was paying attention, I would have picked up missile level before anything else. That was a mistake. Well, shouldn't be a big deal. Hermes doesn't have any B, so... Do you have any abilities? No. Okay. I could do Simulator 1, but honestly, I think I'm just going to keep moving forward. Actually, no. You know what? We can take it a little slower and one proper mission per episode, or however makes sense. We'll see how this experimental episode turns out when I edit it, and if it sees the light of day or not. But yeah, if this works, this has been episode 1 of Front Mission 4. And assuming things are fine with the recording and I am okay with how the audio turns out, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.